What's up, guys? It's episode 379. Welcome back to the show.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh- I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh- I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
I'm going to give us all the perspective we need right now. And I'm going to use my now deceased great grandmother as the example, because like in typical me fashion, obviously it's been a heavy week with the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. It's been a heavy week. It's been a little cray out there, a little crazy. And in typical me fashion, like I'm not even close to being shocked, because when I think of my great grandmother who lived to be 104 years old, and I think of the crazy shit she saw in her lifetime, I'm like, okay, I'm 30. This tracks. Like, of course, in the 100 years I'm going to live, 144, hopefully, years I'm going to live, 120. What do I want to live to? I don't know. Of course, presidents are going to get maybe assassinated or attempted. People are going to attempt to assassinate the president, just like my great grandma saw with JFK. She survived and she lived through that time. She also lived through Reagan getting shot at. She lived through World War I, World War II, the Great Depression, the atomic bomb, the Russian Revolution, the Cold War, Vietnam War, the Civil Rights Movement. Like literally my grandmother in her life, like I'm thinking of what I've been through. Obviously it started out with like, okay, 9/11. There's like a bad earthquake in the Northwest when I was in second grade. I had to hide under my desk, and that was probably one of the most traumatic things I went through like early on in my years. But like, oh yeah, COVID, 2008, when the economy crashed, like it's been pretty light. So obviously it's a wild time, but if you think about your life, if you think about the timeline you've lived through so far, it's highly likely that it's only going to get worse from here, because like, I just think about your grandparents, your great grandparents, and what they went through. Like history repeats. Bad things happen. If I've learned anything in my 30 years of life, it's like, of course there's going to be destruction and war and chaos and drama with the election and just bullshit. And honestly, with this whole like AI paranoia that everyone has, I'm like, at some point there's a technology that replaces whatever came before it. And obviously I think that's going to be AI for our generation. But back in the day, it was the fucking horses getting beat out by the tractors, and then the tractors getting beat out by, well, then cars came. You get the point. Like, so I think in times like these where you're like, literally Donald Trump is still alive by, in his words, the grace of God, after being shot at by a 20-year-old assassin. Just, yeah, like keep that in mind, I guess. So I have a great show for you today. Hold on. Let me just start it off with some like jams here. Hey, what's up? It's Jacqueline. Welcome back to the show. All right. I have a great show for you today. I just wanted to get that off my chest before we got started. Yeah, like there's an IT issue going on in the world right now. Like, you know, it's this global IT outage that's kind of giving me like leave the world behind vibes. When the grid went down and all the cars were crashing and the planes were crashing. And yeah, it's just like, if that happens, by the way, I wouldn't even be surprised or shocked. I'm kind of in the mode right now of preparation, like for real. We need lock and load yourself, lock and load that pantry, lock and load those safes with things to protect yourself. Like, I don't know. That's where I'm leaning right now. I'm leaning, you know what really set me off? And set me off and really started to make me have really bad anxiety about all this is fucking Alex Jones. When Tim Dillon interviewed him, like immediately when Trump got shot at. And it was just such an intense interview. And Alex Jones is just like, yeah, it's coming. Like, people are saying civil war. You know, there's a lot of like conversation about civil war. I'm like, when I think about our country, I'm like, we're so bitch here. Like, I can't imagine just like actual, just regular ass Americans like shooting up each other. Like, is it the North versus, it's not the North versus the South. It'd be like Dems and Republicans. Is that like is that who we're fighting? Are those the two teams for the Civil War? Like, what are the teams so like when they say, oh, the fucking, what are they called? The fucking elites, whoever's pulling the puppet strings. This is like shit I see on TikTok right now because I'm scrolling, I'm keeping up with like the news on the RNC and just like Trump. And it's like hard not to watch this shit right now because it's really interesting. And of course there's the conspiracy theorists just going off and making you worried about civil war and shit. But anyways, yeah, Alex Jones. Oh, that was... I knew immediately. I was like looking, I was on YouTube. I'm like looking for Alex Jones talking about this Trump assassination. I'm like, obviously, like he's literally nowhere to be found. I think you have to go on like, I don't know, his alternative networks or Rumble and I don't have that shit. So, but I always love like when shit goes down, he's the first person I want to hear from. So again, I've got a great show for you today. Let's get back to the music. I'm back on video, by the way, so I'm having a little bit of stage fright. Thank you for your support. I'm back on video, but anyways, please hit that subscribe. Please hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening right now. I'm on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Breaker, Overcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Please hit that subscribe button. And why don't you go over to my YouTube channel and subscribe to the Jacqueline Monroe Show. I'm on YouTube. I'm on TikTok at Jacqueline Monroe. I have a lot of new people. I'm assuming that conversion rate is very low, by the way. TikTok to podcast, TikTok audience to listening to your podcast. But yeah, if you're new from TikTok, subscribe to me everywhere. The Jacqueline Monroe Show on YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, Apple. I already said it. And if you want to support the show, please head over to my Patreon, patreon.com/tjms. to support the show. It's $5 a month. Patreon.com/TJMS. Honestly, I'm going to keep it light. I know we talked about like the whole Trump thing. Like this IT outage though is a little sketch. Major global IT outage grounds flights, hits banks and businesses around the world. Yeah, it's a little... CrowdStrike is the company, the IT company, I think. They were doing a routine software update, allegedly a routine soft, and it obviously crashed or fucked up. And anyways, I don't want to talk about news. You guys want to know about what's going on with the wedding, right? The wedding planning, my golf game, new home ownership, turning 30, the dogs. I do have a dog update. I have a dental update. Kind of a unfortunate dental update. Actually, it's not that bad, but it's kind of like crazy that I'm figuring out about this at 30 years old. So, and I have a story about our garbage situation at our house. That'll go under the new homeownership tab, that segment. So yeah, sit back. Relax. I hope we're in the thick of summer. Like we're really in the thick of it. And to be honest, I didn't even set the scene. It's 10:25 a.m. It's Friday. It's the 19th of July. We're in the thick of summer. I'm officially closing out my 10 weeks until my wedding. So we're hitting 9 weeks on Monday, which is, I'm starting to feel it, to be honest. Like I'm really starting to feel the pressure of like, I got to get shit done. I still don't have shoes. I still don't have my shoes and outfits for the weekend. So yeah, I went to the gym this morning. It's hot as shit in my house. I can't turn on the AC because it's going to fuck with the audio. So I'm trying to get this out so I can lay out and tan my ass because it's starting to get pale. We had a gloomy week last week, and yeah, I really need to work on the tan. I'm 2 weeks out from, I think we're heading out to Montana in a couple weeks. So, you know, I'm going to be on a boat. So I'm trying to like, you know, get the nice tan before that trip. So what else is happening today? Corey's at work. Oh my God. Okay. Let's just like get into it. I think I'm going to start with the trash truck story, the garbage truck story, because it's kind of funny and I want to keep this light because it is Friday and we've all been through a pretty heavy week and we deserve to be, like, I will not be fear mongering from this point forward on the episode. All right. We've entered the new homeownership drama segment. Essentially, Corey and I have been working on the backyard. That's our main project because the house when we moved in was completed and it was renovated a couple of years ago. There was really nothing to do inside. So the big project is the backyard. And I've talked about it a lot here. Basically, we've got this big piece. I don't know if it's an acre. I don't know if it's a half. I don't understand how big this is, but it's a big ass. It's like, what would I say? Maybe like a third of an acre. I don't know. It's a big backyard for San Diego. It's a big backyard, especially in our location. It's like when we invite our friends over, they're like, "Oh, cute house." It's like cute. It's charming. It's Spanish. It's, you know, and then we take them out to the deck and they're just like, holy fucking shit. So it's a big backyard. We're pouring a lot of concrete. Okay. We're building infrastructure because we got to have living spaces, crawling spaces. What am I saying? Oh my God, this is like, okay. So we're pouring a lot of concrete. We put in steps. We put in retaining walls because it's on a slope. And the other day, Corey, my beloved fiance, husband to be Corey, made the decision we had some extra concrete bags. I'm just recalling a TikTok right now where I was like, I literally made a TikTok being like, I will never talk negatively about my husband or fiance or whatever. Like I call him basically my husband now and we're 10 weeks out. It's like, he's my husband. Oh, he's calling me right now. Oh God. Well, let's put him on the hot seat. Like I don't like making fun of, I think it's bad, but like this is a funny story. I'll get into it. Honey, perfect timing.
Did you see it? It just closed today.
Okay. Don't tell me for how much. Hold on. I'm in the middle of telling the garbage truck story, but I want to get into okay, fine. What did it close at?
So closed at 175. So it's almost 50 grand less.
Don't say the name of the street. The other one closed at what?
The other one closed. The other one's still pending.
175?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
175.
Just an absolute shithole.
A little less. So I'll call you back. Love you. Bye.
No. I have a question for you. Oh. He felt it. He felt that I was going to put him on the hot seat. Do we have drama? Is this like drama now between us? Should I try calling him back? I really want to know. Okay. First of all, I am on TikTok now. Obviously, like, hi, I'm monetized. I'm a TikToker and it's a good life. I'll just say that. It's fun. I love making little TikToks. And anyways, I made a video and someone was like, is this like, are you making fun of your husband? Is this what the point of this video? And then I made a reply back to that saying like, I would never, I'm just not into that. Like when women joke around about their husbands like that and they put them down and they say these little like sarcastic, witty jabs. It's like, I don't know. I don't think it's cute. Overall, it's kind of icky. I'm always, and honestly, this is like, we're going on a side quest right now. Before I get back, I'll go back to the garbage truck. We'll get back to that. But recently I've been collecting or I've been noticing this pattern with some of my friends where it's like every single time I hang out with them, or what it is I've never heard them say anything positive about their significant other. Every time I'm with them, it's like all they want to do is bitch and complain to me about how annoyed they are, and they're always just eye rolling about their significant others. And I was like, so I just never, like, I just think it's so, first of all, why are you with them? Like, obviously Corey and we've been dating for 2 years. That's like, it's not super long, but it's like, it's long. It's like enough time to be like, okay, I can confidently say this, and we're getting married again very soon, but like nothing about him annoys me. I think it's very rare for a woman to say that about her man, because I think it's like a thing, you know, like, oh, this one thing my husband does, or like my boyfriend, or no, like I genuinely like Corey. Like I like everything about him. Nothing really annoys me. I don't really have like icks. I have no icks, or it's so different. So, yeah, I just never want to talk, but okay, I'll tell you about the concrete. We got to keep it moving on this segment, this new homeownership drama segment. I will say this about him. He made a rash decision at God knows what hour of whatever day of the week to take the extra bags of concrete and throw them in our garbage can. They're 90 pounds. Okay. I believe we started out. Yeah. I think he put 2 of them in there. Okay. So there's 2 90-pound bags of concrete at the bottom of our garbage can. Because we had extras. We're just trying, I don't know. There's no point to save them. We have no reason to keep them. Whatever. So I get it. Like he was like, I got to throw these out. Let's throw them in the trash. I would have done the same thing. He gave one to me. He's like, try lifting this. And I like literally couldn't. The way the weight is distributed in those bags is like, it's like when you see those strongman competitions and they're like holding onto those giant concrete balls. It's like so awkward and heavy. So guys, my upper lip is sweating so bad. Hold on. I don't have any AC on, and this is like getting really uncomfortable, but so garbage comes Monday, and it was Monday. I don't know. I was probably at the dog park at the time the garbage truck came. I was God knows where. At home in my office here. I was somewhere, maybe cleaning the house, cleaning the shit stain off the carpet because maybe Louie took a shit or piss somewhere. I don't know. Like I was busy. Okay. Anyways, the garbage truck did its thing. Okay. It came on that Monday, as it normally does. Now, typically it's like before noon. I don't know what time exactly, because like whenever the garbage truck comes, I'm really like never paying attention to it, or I like don't notice it came. I don't know. Maybe sometimes I do. I think the recycling I know, whatever. These are details you don't need to know. So anyways, the truck does its thing. It's picking up the garbage on our street. And I didn't see it. I didn't see the truck. I didn't hear the truck. But all I know is the truck didn't pick up the garbage can. Okay. So the garbage can was on our street. And later that afternoon, I usually just bring in the garbage cans on my own. It's typically just my flow on a Monday afternoon. Like, okay, the garbage is picked up, and I bring it to the back, side of the house where we keep them. And I was talking to Cora on the phone. He's like, hey, did the garbage truck come? And I was like, I think so, but they didn't take our garbage. And he's like, dang, that's weird. And I'm like thinking in the back of I didn't really think about it. I just kind of like, that just rolled off my shoulders. I was like, yeah, that was weird. I didn't remember there's 2 90-pound concrete bags at the bottom of whatever. So you kind of probably know where this is going, but I have the funniest part, and it's like, you had to be here. I'm honestly, we are in the middle of me telling you had to be there story. And I know that's annoying. I need this Diet Coke. I'm literally sweating. Did I put deodorant on? Hold on. I got my nails done. I can't open cans like I used to. Fuck. Kind of hurt. Oh my God, I'm like a new woman. I did my my bridal nail trial, and I got acrylics, and like, I just feel so cool. So this is you had to be their story. I'll fast forward this a little bit. The next week, okay. The next week, oh my God, this is so fucking funny to me because it's like so us. It's so like Jackass, but fucking the next Monday. Now remember, they didn't take it the Monday before. The trash was still sitting there. It's heavy as shit. We didn't even pull it all the way to the back, to the side of the house. We just like pulled it in the front of the driveway because it was so fucking heavy. And anyways, obviously throughout the week, we're adding garbage bags on top of it. Okay. We're like filling the garbage can fuller and fuller and fuller. And now it's the next Monday, and we set the garbage can thing, whatever. We set the garbage back out on the street. We go to the gym. I think he did that the night before. Corey always takes the garbage out on Sunday nights. I love how he just like automatically does that. It's just so like, oh, he's like the garbage man. Like at this house, I haven't taken garbage out since I met him. Like literally, I hate taking the garbage out. So like the fact he will literally empty the garbage. Like I feel like he over empties it. I think he just enjoys taking the garbage out. I'm not talking negatively about my fiance. It's so endearing. I love him for this, and I appreciate him for this. So, fucking, what am I saying? So he puts it out on the street for the next Monday. It's full of like the whole week's worth of garbage, plus the 2 90-pound garbage bags. And we go to the gym. So it's on the street, go to the gym. We come home. I think we went to Starbucks because the route we took, we noticed, okay, the garbage truck is it's coming. Because we saw these, we were literally, oh my God, we're literally, again, this is like, you had to be here. You have to know our humor, but we get our Starbucks, coming home from the gym, get our Starbucks. We're driving down the street, and Corey starts to notice. He goes, look, these are all empty. They're about to hit our street. Because on the way you could see like, okay, the garbage truck has been here. Then we turn in our neighborhood, and we see the garbage truck, and he's just flooring it to get home. We literally get out of the car, we just fly out of the car. He parks it so fucking fast. We fly into the house. We like peer behind the curtain in our kitchen, and we're like waiting for the garbage truck, right? And oh my God, it just gets so good from here. We're standing behind the curtain like a couple of 5-year-olds acting all giddy about like, oh my God, here comes the garbage truck, right? Like we're so like, just acting so immature. And like, and the anticipation is is the truck going to pick it up this week? Is the garbage going to be gone this week? Or are we going to have to deal with the same thing again? And the fucking truck pulls up, and it's like, we're literally like spying out of the window behind the curtain. And you know that feeling of like hide and go seek, and you're like super nervous, like you don't want anyone to find you because you're like, oh my God, they're getting so close. Like I just felt that was the vibe. And so the guys don't come out. They're just chilling. They're on their fucking, I don't know, they're on TikTok. They're just hanging out in the truck. They pull up. The truck does its thing. Okay. It's got hydraulics. It's got a robotic arm. Okay. It's 2024. This makes sense. Like this is how garbage trucks work. The fucking arm comes down. It proceeds to latch on to the garbage can. And then just like a roller coaster, that bitch goes up. But you know, you get to the top. It's like real slow on the way up, and then it goes down. So the garbage can starts going up, and we're like, oh my God, it's happening. Oh my God, they're taking it. And then right when it's about to because it flips over at the top, right as it gets to the top to flip over, it's like struggling. Okay. And it's not going. We're like, fuck. And then we notice the arm. Okay. Readjust. The arm changes angles. Now it's going a little more horizontal out. It was super steep to start, which is probably why it couldn't flip over as easily. Now it's going back down. It's readjusting to being more horizontal. And now we're like, okay, it's readjusting. It's going to do it this time. Up the conveyor belt thing. It's like going up the roller coaster track. And then gets to the top. Like it won't fucking go. And they just drop that bitch off and peel out. Like they didn't even try to like do anything. It was just like 2 tries. The robotic arm didn't do it. So we're out. Week 2, we haven't had our garbage picked up. So now we've got 2 weeks worth of garbage piled up on top of these 2 90-pound concrete bags. And we're like, fuck, what do we do? I think we're going to have to dumpster dive. And I told him, I think we should just like put the garbage bags from like our kitchen or whatever, put those in the recycling. And just like, cause we have other empty bins, just like consolidate or like redistribute the garbage so that, and then maybe take out 190-pound bag, or I don't know. Take it all out, bring it to the dump ourselves. I don't fucking know, but it's just like a thing right now. And it's just kind of funny. And so, yeah, that's that segment. In other news, like I said, I went to the nail salon to do my bridal nail trial. I kind of don't know what I want, to be honest. Like literally I'm like Googling bridal nails in the nail salon, looking at the different colors I could pick from. Like I'm kind of deciding on the fly. And I literally was like, okay, what did Hailey Bieber do? Like, what did Hailey Bieber do with her bridal nails? And I kind of like copied that. They're this, hold on, I need to chill out. I need to channel Trump's somber, slow talking. He's a lot slower, more reverent. Like there's something about him. His whole energy has shifted. He's like a new man. I need to channel that poise, that calm, just really reflective. It's kind of somber energy. He has this look over his face that's kind of like, just think. He's like, I don't know. He's a new man. I need to channel that kind of like calming energy right now. I did have a quad espresso after I had a Celsius before the gym. So I had a Celsius, went to the gym, and then I got a quad espresso. I did blend it with a scoop of protein powder to help slow down the caffeine absorption or whatever the fuck, but I'm feeling a little wired. Okay. Totally forgot what segment we're on right now. We did the garbage truck. Oh, the nails. They're kind of like, they're a pink iridescent, kind of like ovally cute nail. I like them. I do like them for like every day or just whenever, but I don't think for the wedding. I'm kind of like, do I want French tips? Do I want coffin shaped? I need to like do a little more research, but I'm glad I went. I've been doing my own gels for like a year now because I quit going to the nail salon. She talks shit about my feet though. Oh my God. She's like, you need to come to a professional. She's like, do you do your, I can't do the accent. Do you do your own nails? And, I'm like, yeah, I do them at home. And like once a month I'll do a pedicure. She's like, oh no, you need to see a professional. She's like, you need to start coming in. I was like, okay. Was that Russian? Oh no, you need to go see a professional. Oh, I can't do it. I'm not good at accents. So yeah, I got a mani-pedi and then I went to the dentist. We'll get into this segment because I might have to get tongue surgery, y'all. New segment, I might have to get tongue surgery. So nails did, dentist, nails check, dentist check. So since I moved to San Diego, this is like I'm honestly really good at going to the doctor. Like I'm very routine about it. Like every year in August, I do all of my appointments, all of my blood work, everything is like August is the month I get shit done. My, like gyno stuff, pap smear. What else do they do down there? Fucking testing for, STD testing, all of that. Okay. August is the month for it. So I'm very routine about that, but not for some reason, not the dentist. I've had really good health insurance. Okay. I've had, yeah, because I'm like, wait, because I have health insurance. Like, what am I saying? And like, ever since I moved to San Diego, whenever I go like, ooh, I should go get my teeth cleaned, I just like call a place up and I'm like, hey, can I come get my teeth cleaned? I don't really like have an established dentist anywhere. So now that I'm with Corey, he's like, you should just go to my dentist. I've been going to this dentist since I was a kid. Like literally, I think I asked the woman at the front desk, I was like, cause she's like, oh, I heard Corey referred to you. Like, oh, you're his fiance. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh my God, he's been coming here since 1995. And I'm like, I was 1 year old. So it's one of those things. So now that we're together, it's kind of cool. Like we're going to the same dentist and blah, blah, blah. So I finally booked an appointment to get a teeth cleaning because we're getting married. And I'm like, I want to get my teeth snatched and whitened. And I need a cleaning. It's been like over a year, which is not ideal. Okay. Now I have nice teeth in my opinion. Like they're not like, I take care of my teeth on a daily basis. I'm doing my flossing, I'm doing my brushing, I'm doing my whitening. Like I take good care of everything. Nothing's like bugging me where I'm like, ugh, I need to get this fixed or this is decaying or whatever. But anyways, long story short, this was the most, and obviously technology is advanced to the point where they're doing like 3D scans. They're, you know, doing infrared. I don't know what the technology is, but like they're really getting in there now and they're really able to see everything. Okay. So what should I start with? What was my assessment? Okay. What was my overall assessment? Overall assessment was like, it looks good. You're doing fine. Okay. Gums look good. She did the thing where they go through each tooth and they do like 1, 2, 2, 1, 3, 3, 3, 1, 3. You don't want anything higher than a 3. This has to do with your gum receding levels. So I was clear on that. I had like 2 4s, which were my wisdom teeth in the bottom because I didn't get those taken out because I was going to risk having numbness on my chin, I believe, because my roots were too close to the nerve that connect to my chin. So I decided to keep my lower wisdom teeth. So if you want to know, so fun fact, I have my wisdom teeth on the bottom, not the top. It's kind of weird. They're really far back there and they're really hard to clean. But so the gums weren't the best back there, but everything else was good. Now there's 3 things that came up. One of them's pretty big about my tongue. So sorry. I'm like, what is this episode? Like literally, what is this episode? So fucking, she's like going through my mouth, you know, each tooth, kind of checking everything out. She gets to my molar that has a cavity filling in it. And she's like, oh my God, I haven't seen one of these in years, especially at your age. I think in years in someone's mouth that's around your age. She's like, oh my God, I haven't seen this in a long time. And you never know with the dentist. Here's the thing. You never know with the dentist because sometimes they're making it sound 10 times worse than it actually is because they want that cash. Okay. So you have to like make your best judgment on what they're saying or like take it kind of with a grain of salt or like you have to be a skeptic at the dentist. You really do. You have to consider that they're trying to make money and also like how bad is the situation with your teeth. So she's like, oh my God, I haven't seen one of these in like years, especially at your age. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, you have a silver filling. I'm like, isn't that what most people have? Isn't that like standard? Like fillings are silver. I have one silver filling. The rest are white. Okay. The rest are looking good. Like aesthetically pleasing. I open my mouth. You can't see them, but on the one tooth, I have a silver filling. So this was red flag number 1. Now in the back of my mind, I literally asked her, and by the way, this is like a side thing, but tell me why when I'm with people that I meet for the first time, like this was the dental hygienist. He was super cool. We were talking about Twitch streaming. We were talking about my podcast. We were just hanging out like 2 besties. Like I met him for the first time and I was so like myself, super comfortable, super like, I didn't give a fuck. I was just like, hi, nice to meet you. Like I was super like easygoing, relaxing. Like tell me why with new people. Same with this dentist. I was just like shooting the shit, talking my shit, saying what I thought. I was like, literally when she said that about my filling, I'm like, by any chance, are these silver ones less expensive than the white ones? And she's like, yeah, typically they're the cheaper option. I go, well, that makes sense. My parents were probably trying to save money. Okay. They had 3 kids getting dental work around the same age, 3 kids in braces at the same time. I mean, they were probably trying to save money. So, but the fact I was just kind of like being that, I was just like saying it like it is like that. It was so fun. I like made her laugh like 50 times. Like it was such a great time. But like, tell me why with people that are new, like just random strangers I'm meeting for the first time, I'm so like fucking free, like whatever. And then like with people, like, damn it. I'd never know which of my friends listen to the podcast. But like sometimes with people that I know and hang out with regularly, it's like clunky sometimes. And it's like, what is that? Is that called masking or like, I don't know. Maybe because I'm with like, I don't know. the energy of strangers is so like freeing to be around because you don't know anything about them. They don't know anything about you. So you're just like, hey, I'm going to be myself. But like people that have history with you, it's like, sometimes it's clunky. I don't know what that is. What is that? I'm trying to like reflect, like, what is that? It's like expectations of how you're supposed to act because you've acted a certain way around them before. So you have to continue acting that way. And so if you were never authentically yourself, then you kind of have to keep that mask on every time you're around them now. Cause like the other night, I'm not going to name names. Fuck, I'm always like, who listens to my podcast? Fuck me. The other night I was hanging out. I'm not going to say with who or where or what, but it was just like a little awkward. It was just like awkward. I'm like, what is this awkwardness? So I think my parents are trying to save money. Mom, please confirm. Give me a text. I know you're listening right now. Like, what was this silver filling about? Because long story short, it corroded. Okay. She pulled up I think it's called like a tarot scan. A tarot scan. She pulled that up and it's got like perfect images of each tooth or something, like from all angles. Cause they put this camera in there and they like wiggle it around. And she pulled up that molar with the silver filling and literally my heart sunk because I was like, wait a minute. I see obviously that my tooth is turning gray. By the way, like eventually you have to get things replaced and fixed. Like this is like typical dental stuff. Like I'm not like, oh my God, it's corroding. Like it's been years. Okay. I was probably like 6 when I got it. I don't know. Whatever. I think I have like, I have a few fillings. I probably have like 8, maybe less than that. I feel like it's a decent amount. But my heart sunk because I'm like, what is this black line trailing into my gums? I'm like, because one time I got an infection on my leg and whenever anything's like channeling and it's like not the right color, it's like it's like probably a bloodstream thing where you're like, it's getting into the bloodstream. One time I think it was a spider bite and it got so infected where I could see from the bite these lines forming and like channeling into the rest of it was on the front of my calf and it was like that infection was like getting into my bloodstream. And so I had to go to the hospital and like get that taken care of. So like, anyways, there's a black line trailing away from my tooth in my gums. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? I was like, is this the metal like channeling off the tooth? And she's like, it's of concern. Like, again, you don't know, like, I told her, and again, we were just hanging out like homies. I was just like, I was like, what's the worst case scenario? She's like, the enamel could explode. So we need to get this replaced. And you know, she's like, it's common. It happens. But I'm like, with I'm like, is this getting into my bloodstream? She's like, probably. And I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck? Like, I've been having metal seep into my gums for God knows how long. Like, it's channeling. And as I said last week, okay, you know me, I'm like, I'm really into, and I think I was there for so long because I just kept asking anatomy questions. Like, I got real specific with her about like, we even were talking about like facial massage and myofascial release stuff. And yeah, but I told you last week how I got that cleaner for my ear that has what's it called? The camera on it that I got on Amazon. So you can like get into your ear and like clean out the wax and like see it all. You know, I went home immediately and got onto that tooth and like used that high definition camera to see where that trail of metal was going. And like, it's going, it's in there. So that's on the agenda to get my filling fixed because yeah, I guess like the enamel could explode and the whole tooth. It's like kind of weird how like the tooth is in one spot is like graying. So there was that. That was number 1. Number 2, she's like, look, you got these molars in the back. They're your wisdom teeth. Originally, I thought those were just stains, but it looks like there's, you know, small cavities starting to form. So we could fill those, but it's not the end of the world. Blah, blah, blah. Nothing crazy. And by the way, I was like cross-referencing what she was saying about my teeth to the last time I went to the dentist to a different dentist, because I was like, wait a minute. The last time I went to the dentist, and I honestly like didn't do anything they said. I like was like, fuck this place. Like, I think they're just trying to take my money. They had like 15 things itemized out, like on the, like, these are the potential things we could do to your, like, these are the things that need to get fixed in your mouth. They listed off like 15 things. And so I was kind of like in the back of my mind going, okay, did she mention that? Did she mention that? Did she mention that? Because like I remembered what they said last time, this other place. And she was like, I even asked her questions about like a couple of gums that are maybe need grafting. I don't fucking know. But she's like, no, don't worry about it. It's like, actually, it's not that bad yet. It's like, you're good. We'll keep track of it, but like, you're fine. So I was kind of like relieving or whatever. Is this a dental episode? Do I do these segments too long? I'm like, I need to get into we did garbage truck. We did a little recap of the Trumpy Trump stuff. We did garbage truck. We're doing dental stuff. I'll do a little wedding, a little Louie at the dog park, and then I'll talk about my TikTok and being a white girl on TikTok and just being white in general. Actually, I don't want to make that even a thing because I don't believe in making and labeling yourself and making your skin color a thing. But like, I just have to say something because it's what I do here. Okay, I'm an entertainer. I got to tell stories. I got to talk about like what goes on in my mind. So it was the corroded filling. It was the couple cavities on the wisdom teeth. No big deal. Then she palpitates. Then she pushes down on my tongue. And she was just like, holy fucking shit. You have a tongue tie. You have a very strong, tight tongue. She's like, do you have neck pain or back pain or do you have like tight shoulders or do you snore by chance? I don't snore. I've never been told by anyone I've slept next to that I snore. So I don't have like sleep apnea, but she's like, yeah, this is looking like a tongue tie. I'm going to refer you because I got this gal that'll laser that shit off and it'll change your life. Cause she's like, look, when I was your age, or she's like, what is she? She's probably mid-30s. She's not that old. She's like, I went my whole life not knowing that. And then she got hers released, her tongue tie, and it like changed her life. It was like all of these weird symptoms she had with her body, like tightness, aches, just chronic fatigue. There's a whole list of like side effects or symptoms of having a tongue tie. So she's like, yeah, all that stuff like went away. And it was like, it was just because of my tongue. Because obviously everything in the body's connected and the tongue. So she's like pushing down on it. And I'm like, wait a minute. Cause she knew, she's like, look, I told her I used to have a tongue thrust where when I had a giant gap in my teeth growing up because when I swallowed, I would push my tongue straight instead of up to the roof of my mouth. So I had like a crib back there at one point. I had these special retainers. I had multiple sets of braces to close the gap. And I've had to train myself how to swallow. And obviously now with mewing and everyone caring about their jawline on social media, like, of course I'm aware that mouth shut, tongue to the top of the roof, tongue to the roof of your mouth, or mouth taping. We're sleeping with our mouth shut. We want our tongue in the right resting position so we can, I know all about that shit. So I feel like I'm not severe. I don't have a lisp or anything. I'm not like a dipper. I think that's when you put your tongue down instead of up. Do I have a lisp? Sometimes I'm like, I have something. And I've said this a million times on the show. I feel like I bring it up like every now and then, but like I had a tongue thrust, right? And what's crazy is I remember my orthodontist when I first got into braces saying, just by the way you talk, I can tell that you have a tongue thrust. And I'm like, bitch, why don't you talk about my tongue tie? Because she goes, look, if you had a tongue thrust, and the thing is, she's like, things have progressed now where it's getting addressed really early on now, where like back when you were growing up, it wasn't a red flag. Like it wasn't a thing. Like, I don't know. They didn't address it as early or whatever. So she's like, because you had a thrust, that was probably related to the tongue tie because you're overcompensating. There's shit like people with tongue ties or people with ADHD. You know how I did the ADHD test thing? Assuming I have it, or I honestly think I'm fine. Like, I think that was like a phase. I was just mentally like, I have ADHD because I'm always tired and I only can do like 2 tasks a day without feeling completely burnt out. And whatever. That was a whole phase or a short phase, or I think I'm good. I think I'm doing just fine. Okay. Episode 379. We're cranking out podcast. I made like 25 TikToks yesterday. I posted like 10 of those and there's like 15 in the hopper. Is that the right math? Yeah. Like I'm doing fine. Okay. I'm planning my wedding. I'm taking care of my business. I'm fit and healthy. I'm exercise. I'm good. But, people with ADHD, autism, neurodivergence allegedly have a higher likely of having a tongue tie than other people that don't have those things. Oh my God, Corey texting, what's your social security number? What's your opinion on sending your social security number like through a text? I just can't. Like call me and write it down on a sticky note and then like burn the sticky note. I was doing a brand deal one time and this is semi-recent and they're actually the sponsor of this show and they needed my social security number. And I can't believe I texted it. I feel like you're not supposed to do that. I even Googled before I did it, like, is it good practice or is it like really bad to send your social security number through text? She was cool. She's a cool lady. I feel good about, I don't know. So anyways, yeah, the tongue tie. So basically, yeah, hold on. I got to call Corey. So yeah, anyways, I probably have a tongue tie and I guess the surgery, like they call it tongue, like surgery, like whatever, is literally just like a laser. You like zap it and it's like release. And then it makes sense though, because I'm really trappy. And like one of my goals for my wedding and being in my, just like, what am I saying? I'm really trappy and my goal for myself as a bride is to not have trap muscles showing. It's like, it's also my anatomy. I weightlift. It's like, I've probably built them up just simply through like resting a bar on the back of my neck or like on my rhomboid. What you're not supposed to put it directly behind your neck, obviously. Your shoulder blades, you put it on. I don't know. So I'm like, it's part of me, but also like apparently having a tight tongue, you're overcompensating other places. So like, that's why a lot of people have a ton of like neck tightness, like shoulder tightness, upper back tightness. And I literally am always like, I can't tell. I don't know where it's coming from. Cause I'm like, I foam roll, I stretch, I get massages. I do all this manual like work on my body to like recover and to release the tension and everything. And I feel like it never, ever, ever goes away. And I'm like, well, is it just because I constantly work out or is it something else? And so maybe this is contributing, I don't know what percentage to the tightness. It's probably something, having my tongue like restricted and like down. And the test, let's do it together. The test, if you want to know if you have a tongue tie, is to open your mouth as far as you can. And then keeping your mouth open without moving your jaw to close it all. Stick your tongue straight up. I'm trying right now, like I can't do it. And you're supposed to be able to touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth without shutting your jaw at all. So like when I do it, I'm like struggling. I'm so far away from the roof of my mouth. And that's a classic, that's like a common test to see if you have a tongue tie. What's really random is like, I don't know, like maybe this was like 3 months ago. I randomly came across myofunctional therapy TikTok and tongue tie TikTok. And I was just like, that's weird. That's interesting. And I wasn't like, oh, I might have this. I didn't even think about it. I just like randomly saw these videos and I was kind of nerding out to it, like, oh, this is interesting. But there's a lot of connections, like with the body, obviously everything's connected, but a lot of problems can arise from your tongue simply being too tight in your mouth. So we'll see. I'll make a consultation appointment and see what the woman says. I really think it's not really a big deal. Like it doesn't affect my life like at all. Like I'm doing fine. Again, I'm doing fine. I don't have ADHD and I'm fine. I'm telling myself, I think I need to have like, but then it's like, bitch, I'm like so curious, like obviously I don't want to get addicted to Adderall, like get on Adderall or like any like ADHD medication. But like, sometimes I'm like, what would that life be like? Because sometimes when people like get diagnosed with ADHD and they like get medicated for it, or they like, whatever, they like work on it. They're like, oh my God, I just thought I was lazy this whole time. And it was just, I just had ADHD. Or like, I didn't know that this life was possible to be this productive and on point and da da da. But I'm also like, I own an iPhone. And I'm the first person to admit how now with me being on TikTok 24/7, like answering comments and making reply videos and always like, you know, researching about the algorithm and like trying to like figure out what videos to make next. Like I'm chronically online. I'm always on my phone. And I think the nature of that obviously is a little bit of ADHD, because how can you not be? Anyways, I'm over talking. I hate saying I'm ADHD. I'm like, ugh, ew, like I'm fine. I do feel like, okay, now that I've been on my health and wellness kick pre-wedding for what, I'm wrapping up 3 weeks. I gotta say this. Alcohol is the motherfucking devil. And I think it has a kind of like a slow drip effect, kind of like how processed food does, where you go like, oh, I'm having, just a couple drinks every weekend or whatever. In my case, it was a lot more frequent over the last year for no fucking reason. And I did talk about that a couple episodes ago. But it's a slow drip where you're like, oh, like I'm having my fun. I'm having my like cheat meal. I hate saying cheat meal. I'm having my like fuck it foods here and there. Like, oh, we went and got froyo on Saturday and we were at the movie theater and we got popcorn and candy. And you're just like, oh, I have it once in a while. I'm doing the 80-20 thing. But like over time, that's like a slow drip, and that's going to it'll eventually catch up with you is what I'm saying. And I think alcohol does that definitely, even if you're like, oh, I only have a couple drinks. Da, da, da. So in my case, in the last 3 weeks, I've completely cut everything out. And I'm like, hi abs. Hi. I'm like, wait a minute. Like I feel, obviously I'm doing like multiple workouts a day too. Like I'm literally doing like heavy weightlifting in the morning. And then I go to like Pilates and yoga in the afternoon. It's crazy. I know, but hi, I'm getting married and perfection is the only option as a bride. Like it's one day of my life. I can suck it up and do a fitness kick for like a couple months and like call it a day. Because those pictures will last a lifetime. And I want to feel really amazing when I look at the photos and also on the day. And I also want to challenge myself because again, I've been kind of a lazy fat fuck, a little drunken lazy fat fuck for the last year, just living my life and enjoying my fun times and events and socializing. And yeah, so it's crazy how I cut that shit out and I'm like, wow, I feel on point. So like all those like ADHD things where I'm like, I'm not getting anything done. I feel lazy. I'm like, what? It's probably because of the food and the alcohol. It's literally always because of the fucking bad dietary choices and the drinking. Always. Like, no, honey, you don't have ADHD. You're an alcoholic. No, or like, no, honey, you're not, you don't have ADHD. You're like eating like shit, or you're not being disciplined about being on your phone and this, that, and the other. It's always something. So I'm taking full responsibility of my actions and my dietary choices. It's just like a thing though, where now I'm like, wait a minute, I'm kind of feeling this momentum happening. I'm like, ooh, I feel so healthy when I wake up. When I go to bed, I'm like, ooh, I had my little like nighttime tea and I'm like, I just like feel so healthy. And yeah, so that's what's going on. I don't know what segment we're on right now. So I'm getting my clubs. I'm getting fitted for clubs tomorrow. So Corey, one of my birthday presents was a full set of golf clubs customized to my body, to my height, to my whatever. I don't know how they do it. It's amazing how they do it. But that's happening tomorrow. I think we're going to do spin class. He's getting his tux fitted or like tailored. I'm getting my clubs fitted, or I'm getting fitted for clubs. And then shoe shopping for wedding shoes. We're going to go to like the mall and just like see what we can find. And then movie with his parents, I think. We're going to go see the Gladiator movie. So that's happening tomorrow. So I'm really excited. I don't know what like brand or what make I'm going to go with as far as clubs go. But I'm thinking I have Callaway right now. I feel like I'm honestly leaning towards Callaway, but he's like, you should try Mizuno or Ping. He has these Mizunos that they're the MP29s. I think this is the golf segment, by the way. Sorry if you don't understand golf speak. Whatever. Tiger Woods used to use these like MP29 Mizuno irons, and Corey found them like brand new. And I don't know, he like found them on eBay and he's been using those. And he's like, I like these better than my PXG. So I don't think I'm going to go with Mizuno. I think I'm going to go with like a Ping. Maybe I'll go with PXG or Callaway. I don't know. So I'm really excited because I've been golfing for 2 years, and I mean, obviously my swing isn't perfect. Whose is, you know, actually, who's my favorite swing on the tour right now? Who has my favorite swing? Honestly, like Max Homa. I would say his aesthetically, like, is my favorite. Like, just the way it looks. Max Homa. Scotty. He swings how Scotty swings. Like, I don't know what I would say about his. Obviously, Rory, when he hits his driver, is like it's like poetry. Anyways, but yeah, I've been golfing for 2 years with a out of the box like starter set, and it's kind of I'm at the point now where it's like I don't know if it's the clubs or me, so I need to, and I'm like I really want lighter shafts. My shafts are so heavy. I was picking up Corey has his PXG irons are literally like lighter than the ones I have. So I'm really excited to get like graphite shafts and like lighten up my bag a little bit, because I feel like that, because whenever I go into the shops and I like try, like I mess around with different irons, I'm always like, oh my God, these are so light. Like I could just imagine how well I'd hit the ball if it was a little lighter. So my driver's like bent too. So that's happening this weekend. That's that segment, the golf update, the weekend plan update. Wedding planning. On the wedding planning front, we sent out our invites. Oh my gosh. So we officially sent out our invitations this week, which is super exciting. And we're already getting, people are like already hitting up our registry, which is like so crazy. Like we're already getting gifted stuff. And it's like, I don't know, like I've always heard about like wedding registries, and like I know what they are. And obviously I've seen them a million times, but when you're on the receiving end, it's just so crazy. You're like, oh my God, people, like, it's just like so much shit you're getting. Like I'm getting, and it's all nice stuff. And it's so like generous. And it's so like, just because Corey got down on one knee and we're getting married and you're coming to the wedding, it's like, what the fuck? It's so cool. Like, I don't know. I really am like embracing this time where I'm like, goodies for the house and it's weird. Like I literally put like what's on the registry. I put so much on the registry, guys. I put so much on the registry. I think I'm overdoing it, but I didn't hold back. I think we put a Roomba, like a mop / vacuum combo Roomba on there that's like $1,500. So I have high and low. I have like, you can buy a Scrub Daddy on my registry for us for $399. Or you can buy us a $1,300 mop or fucking, I don't know. I think someone already got us sheets. We got sheets. We got, I think they're Brooklinen or Bull and Branch. I don't remember. Some, is it Mackenzie Childs? No. Am I saying that right? Mackenzie Childs. Swag, kitchen stuff. Some whiskey glasses and decanters, and yeah, it's fun. So that's kind of what's going on. We're in the fun time now where it's like, I don't know, Corey and I have been just extra giddy lately. Like we're so like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like nothing's gonna change. Like I feel like the way we are is the way we are. Like, oh, we're husband and wife now. Okay, that's actually crazy to say out loud, but like we just keep messing around, dancing, like pretending like, okay, this is how we're gonna do our first dance, and like he's like literally trying to do it on the dance. Like it's so, oh my God, what did we pretend we were going to do on the dance floor? Just stupid shit. We have a million inside jokes. that we obviously can't really do at the wedding because it's just like, again, it's one of those like you had to be there. You have to like know our humor type of things. But oh my God, like we've been going off just saying like, what if we did this? What if, and it's just like so not appropriate for a wedding. But all right, I hope I can play this. Let me see if it'll play. This is the dog park drama Louie segment. So hold on, will this play? Oh yeah, we're playing for show. Wait. Holy shit, that's loud. Let me turn down the volume, crank it down. So I'm at the point now with Louie where I'm like, he's got to learn. Okay, he's got to learn. He's going to learn the hard way. The hard way meaning he's going to get beat up a few times before he figures out that he can't steal other balls. This is Louie, my English bulldog, by the way, our English bulldog. He's 2 years old. He's turning 3 in December. He's a ball hog. He is obsessed with the ball at the dog park. And, you know, one of my things that I do throughout the week is we regularly take them to the dog park because our yard, while it is massive, I love saying, oh, we have this giant backyard. It just doesn't cut it. They need to socialize. I think it's fun. You put them in the car, you go get a pup cup at Starbucks. They love it. There's a million dogs there. I meet people. It's fun. It's really fun. So we've been taking them to the dog park, Jimmy and Louie. And I talked about, I think last week, how a Malinois got on top of him and basically like destroyed him without hurting him at all. And like literally this Malinois, like it looked like he killed Louie, and it's like he got up and he was fine. Like whenever dogs fight, it's always like 10 seconds of like, holy shit. And then they like break away. It's fine. Like no scratches, no cuts, no nothing. Sometimes it goes really bad though. And that's the thing. I've been taking Jimmy and Louie to the dog park for a long time now. Actually, Louie's kind of new to it. Like honestly, cause we've recently, since we moved here, we've been taking him, but I've never seen it go like really bad where they're like fighting to the death. Like, but, I'm at the point now with Louie where it's like, he's got to learn. And yesterday, you know, this hunting dog, this long-haired, black, beautiful hunting dog. I don't know the name of the breed, but it's a big dog. Had a ball, was playing fetch with its owner, and Louie just comes over and posts up, really pops his shoulders out, and just like, it's almost like, you know, those spiders, those like really annoying, creepy spiders that like jump quickly and just like, it's like they just pivot real fast and they like jump. Like that's how Louie moves around dogs when they have a ball. It's like posts up, just like, like all 4 feet come off the ground at the same time. And he just like shifts his body and then plants them down, and he puffs his chest and he like gets really in their face. Like he'll go nose to nose. And when the dogs go nose to nose, I don't know anything about dogs like that. Like I don't know what the psychology or the behavior or whatever, but I feel like the nose to nose is like really provoking, and they fight immediately. And it's like, I see it coming before it happens. And I just was like literally in this lawn chair answering my TikTok comments. You know, just, I see Louie in the corner of my eye with his black hunting dog. And I just was like, oh, fucking here we go. And I think it's happened like 4 or 5 times now. And they started fighting really bad. I get up and stand up. I stand out of the chair. I'm like not sitting there anymore. And I'm just kind of like watching it happen. Like, because I think before when it first started happening, I was getting involved. I never get involved with the 2 dogs. Like I never, you just don't do that. But I would like go over and scream and I'm like, Louie, cut it out. Get over here. But this time I was like, I just was like, fly little birdie. You got to spread your, like, I was like, I was like, God damn it, Louie. And then he literally has the attention span or like the memory of a gnat. He literally just like trots away, gets a different ball, drops it in front of me, wants to play immediately. Like doesn't even, he just got beat up. Like this dog was literally on top of him. It was like a dog fight for a good 10 seconds. It's always 10 seconds. Maybe it's like 5. I don't know. It feels like a long time because you're watching it. You're like, holy shit. Is this going to get worse? Is it going to get worse? And then it's over and they walk away. But I checked him out. I'm like, hey, I'm talking. I'm like, all right, come here, Lou. All right, get over here. All right, got any blood? Check you out. Okay. Any cuts? Let me see your eyes, your ears. Like I'm checking everything, making sure he's good. He drops the ball. We're playing fetch again. It's all good. But like, I don't know why I was like in the shower prepping I like do my mental pre-podcast meditation where I'm just like thinking, and I knew I was going to talk about Louie, and I don't know why, but I was imagining Christmas Vacation when they're eating dinner, the turkey when he cuts it and it's all dry, and the dog's like yakking under the fucking dining room table, and Cousin Eddie's like, oh, he's just so nonchalant. Like, this is the vibe. Oh my God, way too loud. Hold on. Can I play this? I don't know.
What, dear? Grace! Grace! She passed away.
Okay, we know this part. Hold on. It's the part where the dog's like yakking. Okay, they're eating the Jell-O.
But I sure am enjoying it.
Pilot spotted Santa's sled on.
I think it's just the scene of them eating. I don't see the dog yakking, but Cousin Eddie just like looks under the table and he just brushes it off. So like, looks like he's yakking up a bone. I don't know. That's just such a good movie. The vibe is just like nonchalant. It's just like unfazed. Like, oh. So that's kind of how I am with Lou. I don't know is that bad dog parenting? Probably. People will be like, you're supposed to go over there and you're supposed to discipline him. And remember when that fat fuck walked? I'm so mean. I'm not saying fat fuck about someone. That's not nice. Did I tell the story about the guy that Louie like kind of bumped into very slightly and he fake limped away? Control that fat shit. Control your dog, you fat fuck. I don't know what he said. I was just like, people sometimes are having like a really bad day. And I never clap back because I'm just like, you win. Like you're pissed off. Like, what am I going to do? It already happened. You're fine. It was nothing. Like dogs at the dog park will come so full force at me to the point where it's like, I'm this close from getting an ACL torn or something. Like if they take you out at the knees, it's over. And I don't like yell at people like, and I've been hit, like I have. And I'm not like, control your dog. I hate when people do that. I hate it. It's like, we're doing the best we can. Like nothing's perfect at the dog park. The dogs are doing their thing. They're being dogs. And there's only so much supervising you can do and discipline. But that's the Louie segment. What else do we have here? I guess I'll do my TikTok blowing up. So here's where I'm at with, I don't even know what I want to say right now. Hold on, let me think about it. Like, since when did people become so comfortable talking shit about white people? Like, why is it that I post a video on TikTok and it's like a response video to someone saying something about me being white? I'm just like, this is like, why even say that? It's like not even relevant to this video. Like, where does that even come from? I'm just baffled by it. So I made a response video. And then all of the comments are just like, I could read the comments. It's just like, tell me a situation where you've experienced racism in your life. You're white. You can't say that. Oh, I'll just read them. It's just, but my point is this, it's like, why is that okay? But yet you flip it and it's like, if I was to say, or you cannot shit talk and literally, you literally can't, you can't. It's like, there's obviously stereotypes and kind of like jokes about Black people, white people, Asian people, Mexican people that are like, there's obviously the stereotypes that people joke about, which I can laugh at. I can understand like where people are coming from. I don't take that as, I'm not offended. I'm not even offended, to be honest. Like, it sounds like I'm being all complainy and like whiny about this, but the truth is like, I don't take offense. I'm just like annoyed where I'm like, is offense being annoyed or is annoyed being offended? I don't know. It's not. I just get like exhausted by the whole race thing where it's like everything, it gets like inserted unnecessarily into places it doesn't need to be and has no, it's like not even relevant to the conversation or the video or whatever. And it's like someone just like, oh, you happen to be a white girl, so you shouldn't be talking this way. Or, oh, this is, you know, it's like, I don't know. But it's crazy how people are just so comfortable in the TikTok comment sections of my videos, like talking about how I'm a white girl and hating on me, like, or using it as like a dig. And I'm like, you just couldn't do that to a black woman. I always think of like black people, obviously, because of what we just came out of in 2020. Like, what did we, like, I feel like we learned nothing. Like, it's just the same. And it's always probably going to be the same. But like, I don't know. Let me just show you. If you didn't know, I went viral for putting frozen chicken in my crock pot and overfilling it. That's like the whole backstory behind me getting monetized on TikTok over something kind of ridiculous like that. And obviously the comments blew up and I made like response videos and someone made a comment about me being white. And so I made a response to it. And then let me just see. Like, what are the... Okay, wait. I got to pull up the video. It's like... I'm going to hold my hand while I tell you this. ... You're wrong. I just ask people why. I'm like, why? And then she's like, you're white. You've never been oppressed based on your skin color. It's not the same because you are white. Personally, I delete this. Like, someone's like defending me, like, okay, but the comment wasn't related to anything privilege-wise. Also, just saying black people is not wrong. Like, relax. Like, it's not wrong to say black people. It's not wrong to say white people. I agree. And she's like, you're white. And I'm like, how do you know? Like, I'm just messing with people because it's so dumb. What kind of white nonsense is this? White girl just doing white girl things on TikTok actually shocked Pikachu when she gets called on it. Clutch those pearls tighter and they're going to shatter. I don't think it's that deep. Like, I don't think it's that deep. I'm not offended by it. I'm just like saying my opinion. Literally, and I can't believe this is someone saying, backing me. They're like, literally, and I can't believe the people trying to back this. Let's just start. Yeah, I'm just trying to find the comments here. You're a joke. Someone's like, what's with the blatant racism in these comments? It's just a double standard and I don't like it. That's all I'm saying. It's like, end of story. The commenter wasn't even black, so how the hell did we get in it? Because I just use that as an example because that's the most like cliche common example. No, seriously, at this point, us blacks do it to ourselves because you don't see white people making comments. I don't know. I'm just like, I obviously know that video is all in good fun and people are teasing me and it's like, oh, white girl, this and that. I'm like, I get it. I get the gist. I can take the joke. I'm not, I know this is sounding like I can't, but I think at the end of the day, I just get so, I'm just so baffled how backwards everything is, where it's like in my brain, I go, okay, when we see color and label people's color of their skin by people just simply saying you're white or comments on, I don't know, do people get comments like you're black or you're Asian or you're Mexican or you're Chinese, you're Asian is Chinese, Indian, or you're African, or you're like, anytime you make a label on people based on their skin color, it makes it as if we're separate from each other, or it divides us a little bit. I feel like it's unnecessary. My whole take on labeling race is that it's in most situations just completely unnecessary. It's so irrelevant to honestly, like most things in life, because, and I get, oh, it's such a white privilege thing to say. I understand that perspective. I understand how it looks when I say something like that. Like, I get it, because I think a lot of people would look at me and go, oh, white privilege, white girl, white privilege, just a basic white girl with a podcast. Easy for her to say, or she's never experienced any oppression or racism in her life. And it's like, literally, what do you call that video I posted and the comments on it? Like, I know it's like literally digital bullying or shit talking about me being white, but it's just like, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It doesn't mean that I haven't. And I'm just saying in general, I don't want to put me into this. I'm just saying that I think when we label each other, it divides us. And I don't think it's necessary. And so the more we do it, the more we're going to be divided. And that's literally it in my brain. And people go, well, with the whole privilege conversation, it's like, how do you measure privilege, right? It's like, oh, well, you are, again, I don't want to make this about me, but I don't mean to be a Karen and be like, what's white privilege? How do you measure privilege? But then I go, well, there's white people across the world that aren't privileged. So it's like some people in my brain have it good. Some people have it good. Some people don't. Doesn't matter what skin color they have. Are there trends? Are there statistics based on like people's skin color and their income or their social class or their whatever? Sure, that does exist. But to say that, I don't know. I just think it's annoying, because I look at things just like the perspective I brought to the table on the very beginning of the podcast with like life and the tragedies of life and in the course of one's lifetime. Like, I just think of everything as like, that's life. Like, it's not, people shouldn't feel bad about the skin color they have ever. It's like, there's no, or you shouldn't feel guilty about, I hate the whole like white guilt thing. It's like, I don't feel guilty at all. I feel bad for people that see color, that make it a thing. And because it's like, it's a victim mentality at the end of the day. Like, people even said in the comment section that I'm being a victim. It's like, no, I'm just saying I'm baffled. Like, how does my skin color have anything to do with the video I posted? Why is that even being brought up in the first place? If you feel some sort of like inadequacy about yourself and your life, or you're miserable or you're down, and you see someone who's just having fun making a TikTok, who seems to be quote unquote privileged and well off and living a good life, I can see why it would be a trigger for people and they would want to comment on that. Okay. Maybe if they don't share my skin color, it would be even more triggering. I don't know. I can't speak for them, but if that's where it's stemming from, because I always go to like root cause, like where is this coming from? That is such a toxic place to be. If you're there and you're having to comment on people's skin color on TikTok and shit talk about them because of their skin color on TikTok and make little jokes and comments, like something's not right with you inside. Because I always go back to this. I'm like, when did we start seeing color so fucking much? When I don't know. I just think about like when I go out in the wild and I see every race around me, like in San Diego, I'm like whites, blacks, Asians, Mexicans, like we're all hanging, we're all good. Like there's no drama. I don't see it. Oh, people go, there's always a rebuttal. There's always a counter argument to that statement. Like, oh, well, but online, it seems as if the world is so racist and so like divided. And this is obviously, sometimes I'm annoyed when I bring up these topics because I'm like, this conversation has been exhausted a million times over, but I just think it's so crazy. I'm just like, you feel so comfortable commenting about me being white and shit talking the fact that I'm white. I don't get it. I'm like, How are you so comfortable? How are these people in my comments so comfortable with that? When did that happen? Because I wouldn't, I personally, I was raised and taught and educated to like, you don't, it's not relevant, nice. It's not, it doesn't, what are you trying to say? What statement are you trying to say? I think what people are really trying to say is that they're miserable. No, like, honestly, I'm overly, what's it called? Like, I think I'm too understanding of the other perspective to the point where like, I get if you were not in a good place mentally, or you didn't like your life, or you envied other people online. And this is literally about someone just making like a sarcastic, like witty comment about me being white, by the way. Like, it wasn't derogatory, but like the comments on that video response I made were very like that was straight up racism, or just like shit talk. I won't call it, I don't know. What is racism? Yeah, I think they just, it's just, it's like, that's why people make negative comments. It's because they're miserable inside. I'm just sick and tired of this race shit. I'm sick and tired of labels. I'm sick and tired of it. I think it's so irrelevant, so unnecessary. I feel like this is what it tells me. Anytime a person like brings up the color of someone's skin for any reason, I'm trying to think of a reason when it would be okay. I'm talking to like in casual conversations or just like on comments online, like, and they're labeling them. It's like, that's kind of, you're seeing color. Like, isn't that what we were taught not to do? Like, that's being racist. Like, why are you even bringing that up? You're not seeing them as a human being. You're not having an opinion about whatever they said. Your opinion is based on, you're bringing up their skin color, and that's and that's contributing to your opinion about them. So isn't that racist? I think at the end of the day, I don't think, honestly, like I'd say majority of people, obviously there are some people out there that see a color of someone's skin and they're like, I don't like you just because of your skin color. I think people are culturists. I think people are put off by, and they basically don't agree with how other cultures that they're not a part of do business and how they live their lives and how they conduct themselves, how they act. And I think I fall in the category of like basic white girl, white privilege, upper middle class, or you could say wealthy, whatever. I don't know. I'm pretty well off. Like I feel like I won the lottery. I mean, like literally I'm like, I say this all the time. I don't think my life could get I know it could get better, obviously, with family and kids and that whole 9 yards. I think that's like, Corey and I were talking in our old apartment and we're like, how could our life get any better right now? And I'm like, a yard and a couple kids. That's probably it. Like, so I do think I've reached that pinnacle of like, I feel like the life, I won the lottery, you know, I'm attractive. I am confident. I have a positive mindset. Like I have all the good things going on for myself in my life. And I fall into that category of like basic white chick who's just yapping on her podcast and just talking her shit and being all complainy and whiny about other people having an opinion about her and blah, 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 blah. But so I get it. And I think if you're someone who doesn't like that category, that basic white girl, entitled, privileged, stuck up, I don't know, like whatever adjectives you want to describe me as, like, of course you're going to be put off by literally anything I post. I think it's literally like people are just triggered. They see me post a video and they're like, fuck this bitch. Like immediately, just because, and like, it's at the end of the day, you don't even know me. Like, that's so weird. I'm like, I'm just having fun making TikTok. It's all in good fun. I'm not trying to, and then I caught it. I think because I'm like kind of new to the TikTok. I'm not new to it, but I'm starting to get crazy engagement. I'm like, oh shit, like I'm experiencing like unnecessary random hate comments for the first time where it's like, I'm just having fun. And that shit rubs people the wrong way. And I don't know, like I'm trying to come up with like a moral of the story or a tip or a advice here, because I guess that's just the internet for you. It's just, yeah. People need to, what do they say? Touch grass. It's getting bad. But I don't think there's definitely a huge discrepancy between the TikTok comment section and real life. Like that doesn't happen when I walk down the street. It never happens ever in real life. Those kinds of like hate comments and like negative comments, like it's only online. So I keep that in the back of my mind, and I'm having fun with it. I think when you start off with your TikTok and everything, like you got to be talking to your audience. You got to be engaging with them. And so you're going to see all the comments. You're going to see everything people are saying. So it's like one of those things. It's like a trade-off. I'm like, well, I could ignore it all, but then my engagement goes to the shitter. So, I don't know what box you're in, what category of like human or socioeconomic class, race, vibe, aesthetic, whatever. What am I saying? I guess the moral of the story, my tip, because life isn't fair. Okay, let's all keep it real right now. Like life isn't fair. You didn't get to choose where you were born in this world. You didn't get to choose your skin color. You didn't get to choose your parents. You didn't get to choose your lifestyle. You didn't get to choose, any of that shit. You're just kind of, it happened to you. Okay. And then you're an adult. Now you make your own choices. And now as an adult where you can make your own choices, my tip, my recommendation is whatever box you're in, make the most out of that box. Because when you make the most out of your situation, when you make the most out of the box that you exist in, trust me when I say, because I've experienced this personally with the cards I was dealt, which were honestly shitty to start. My childhood was not pretty. I went through a fuck ton of adversity in my life. What I've learned is that when you make the most out of your box where you're at, you'll rise up to the next box and the next box and the next box. But as long as you're negative, miserable, making racist comments or negative comments on other people's TikToks and talking your shit and gossiping about negative things and being an asshole, like you're going to stay in that box and you're never going to get out of it. And I've witnessed this with people in my life who it's like the same shit, different year. They're still complaining about the same things. They're still miserable. They're still down and out. It's like they never rise or never elevate themselves to the next box. They're always stuck where they're at. So that's, again, my tip, like recognize where you're at and make the most out of it and embrace it instead of wishing and wanting and hating on other people and being jealous and blah, 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 blah of the world around you and comparing your life to them and going, well, fuck you. You can't talk like that because you have it so good. It's like, you don't even know that. And again, with the whole, like, you don't even know me. I've talked ad nauseum about my adversity and all the shit I've dealt with in my life. And to me, that's still shit. That still sucks. I've still struggled tremendously. So I think it's easy just to judge a book by its cover and go, white privilege, easy for you to say you've never experienced any racism. You don't have it. Blah, blah. It's like, well, whatever I have experienced is still the bad things I've experienced still sucked for me. It might be different than yours suck, but it's all relative. But the thing is, and that's a very, I feel like my perspective on this is a very like mature, kind of like realistic, enlightened way to look at a person's life. It's like, and it's not most people don't have that. And so what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to offer up my advice and just say that there's a cliche, I keep saying cliche, I'm over it. There's a quote out there about, it's like happy homeless people that are like happier than you, that have so much less than you. You see these videos online all the time of like people in the slums just like living good and they're just carefree. They don't have no worries. They're not, because they're not envious, they're not jealous, they're not wishing and wanting for something else. They're embracing their box. They're making the most of their box. I don't know. Is that the title of the episode? Make the most of your box. Box referring to your fucking puss. I don't know. You don't need a labiaplasty. You make the most of your box. What the fuck? Work with what you have. Work with your flaps that you were given. Don't wish and want that you had something else. Jesus Christ. It's truly the move in life though. Like, I've had this hard lesson the last year where I started being not miserable. I got a little complainy, a little whiny and negative. And I caught myself doing that over time. And I was like, this isn't me. Like, I have so much to be grateful for. I think I was just, obviously through therapy, privilege. I go to a therapist and I can talk out my problems and I have an outlet. I learned that I was hit with a lot at once and I got stressed out. My plate was too full. And like, it was easy for me to just go for the low hanging fruit, the things that were easy to complain about. Like not having enough time, not being able to do anything because I'm so stressed out about the wedding planning and the house stuff and da-da-da-da-da-da. So I wasn't feeling that great at that time. I was kind of like I just felt negative. And I realized that it's like, okay, let's make the most. That's my new thing. My new mantra is like, make the most out of whatever you've got in front of you. It's so easier said than done sometimes. Like I get it, but that's what I would tell. Like if I had 10 people in front of me and everyone had they're of a different, maybe from a different country, they had different salaries, making, I don't even know if some of them might not even have jobs. Like some might be billionaires. You got Jeff Bezos standing there. You've got your Elons of the world, like everywhere in between. Across the board, my advice is to just make the most of it. And those positive daily thoughts about your life, like, oh, wow, I have this beautiful roof over my head. I have this wonderful bed, this warm bed. I got this new blankie from Home Goods. Oh, I have this fuzzy blanket that is so soft. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so lucky to have this fuzzy. Like practicing those gratitude things and remembering how life's all about the small things. This is getting like, I'm annoyed. I'm just like, you get the fucking point. Segment over. I think that's how you elevate to the next level in life. Like if life is a game, I believe that that's how you get to the next box. That's how you get to the next level. Because if you think about it, if wherever you're at right now sucks because you think it sucks, what if you didn't think it sucked? What if you thought, okay, wait, no, because you want to do better for yourself. Wait. What if you knew it sucked and said, yeah, this sucks, but does this work? I'm trying to like actually break this down. Like, wait, does my advice fucking work? Okay. You know it sucks. You're aware that it sucks, but you're like, I'm going to be positive even though it sucks. This girl on TikTok, here's a good example. This 17-year-old girl, a mom of 2 boys, one's autistic in Mexico, makes videos. And she was just talking about this. She's like, I'm grateful that I have a loving boyfriend and I know our situation isn't going to be, I know we're struggling right now, but I know that someday it'll get better because I believe in God and da, 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 da. And she's like, honestly, and her videos, I forget her name, but she's truly like making the most of her situation. She's like, look, I can do TikToks. I can make videos on how I shower and how I have to bring 17 pails of hot boiling water up the stairs to shower every day. And this is a way I can make money and share my life with people and be an influencer, even though my situation isn't how I want it and how I dream of it to be someday. I'm going to capitalize on the fact like she's making the most of it. Those are the most inspiring people to follow because they don't give a fuck about anything else. They're just trying to live a good life and share their story. But yeah, if you are aware that your life sucks, but you're like, I'm going to make the most of it, I feel like everything around you will become more positive, and then that will open doors to the next box, the next level, and da, da, da. This is a spiral. All right, that's the end of the episode. Jesus Christ. Sometimes I like work out ideas in my head as I'm doing this, and that's what happens. So you just witnessed that. Just going to refer back to my notes, what we talked about. So we started out the podcast with me discussing how my great grandma had lived through like a million worse things in her 100 years of life than I have so far, and probably will, because I feel like, I don't know, are we going to have, war will never stop, obviously. I don't know. So that was the perspective I gave everyone. Kind of talked about the Trump attempted assassination. I'm really liking this Republican National Convention. Like, I hate these fucking, God. Again, with like happy, patriotic people. Happy, they love their country. They're happy to be here. They're grateful for their country. Having a good time at the Republican National Convention. They just happen to be a Republican, but they're also like, hey, I love my country. Like, that's, who cares what party they belong to? But like, I've been reading like the Wall Street Journal, like the fucking Newsweek, New York Times. Like, I follow these accounts and they post like, they're posting articles on the RNC, the Republican National Convention. And it's when you read, I love reading comment sections. Like, I live in the comment section. I just think it's so fascinating to see what people have to say, you know? It's always the ones that are talking the most shit too. It's like, I have to keep that in mind. Like, this isn't everyone. This is just a small subset of the population, but they're just hating on these white Karens at the, like, freaking out, fawning over Trump. Like, oh my God, look at Trump. Like, God forbid, like, people are shit talking about this crowd at the Republican National Convention so hard. I'm like, only white people there, only, like, again, with the scene color, it's the stereotypes, it's the labeling, it's like, instead of seeing, oh, people that are happy and they're excited and they're patriotic and it's all positive. The whole entire crowd, it's just so positive. It's so rah, rah, rah. Like, they're chanting USA, USA, and people have a fucking problem with that. Like, where has our country, like, it's so backwards. That's the thing. And that's how I know that I'm not crazy. I'm like, wait a minute. Most people I talk to, they agree. It's like the things that should be are not that way. And it's like backwards. Like, everything feels, it's a confusing world to navigate right now, especially online, especially when that's your source of information. Like, you just see so much shit where you're like, huh? Did I not talk about my thoughts on the assassination attempt? If I think if this kid acted alone or if it was set up. Because, to be honest, it is one of this is now not the end of the episode. Jesus Christ. I'll just say this, like, it is one of those things where I'm like, at first, I won't tell you where I'm at now. I think I'll see what the news does in the next week, and then I'll probably talk about it a little bit next week. But like, it was one of those things where I'm like, I was kind of split at first. Like, I don't know how to think about this. Like, this kid could have been completely alone and did this all on his own, or it was a setup. And there's like, the way my brain was processing it was like, I could see both situations. But then the whole setup thing, I'm like, that's where my mind goes crazy. And I don't know what to believe, because that's insane. But also I'm not shocked. Again, with like, nothing shocks me because of history and how it unfolds typically in a person's lifetime. Like, so that really happened though. Like, I feel like where were you at when Trump got shot at? And rest in peace to, I can't say his last name, Corey, the firefighter who saved, he like took a bullet for his family. It's so fucking sad. That's why I'm like, if it was a setup the people that are like Trump, that was ketchup, and Trump, this was all his plan. I'm like, well, someone fucking died. I don't think that was in the plan. I think everything about this was about killing Trump. It wasn't about, obviously hitting civilians in the crowd. But yeah, I think I'm still kind of in shock about it. It's like that really that really happened. I don't know. Like, it's weird. I feel like because we're so desensitized by the news now, because we see it so like we're always seeing crazy shit on our phones 24/7. I don't feel like I reacted to it. Like, I definitely was like, holy shit. I was kind of in shock, but I don't think it was the kind of shock that I would have had if I didn't have a phone and I wasn't scrolling social media all day and I didn't really see, like, maybe I only watched the nightly news and got the newspaper. Like, I feel like it would be more intense. Like, the former president got shot at, like, attempted assassination. That'd be like, oh my God. But I was kind of like, like, holy, that's really sad. I was like, kind of like shooken up, and I was like, holy, I was kind of like, it was shocked, but it wasn't the kind, it was weird. It was kind of like I knew I was desensitized a little bit. I feel like if you live with a man, and how many of your boyfriends out there, or fiancés or husbands, were just like calling all their boys, like literally Corey. I took pictures of like him watching the TV, like it was just such a moment of like, I'm not laughing. It's a heavy thing. Fucking Trump could have, he said in his speech last night, like, he's like, I shouldn't be here. And I love how the crowd was like, yes, you should. Yes, you should. It's so godly and so insane. But I've never seen Corey like that before. He was just so like, yeah. I just love when boys act like grown ass men, or like, I don't know. It's really cute. All right, that's it. I got to turn on the AC and put my tanning lotion on because the UV is, I think, 11 right now, and I'm pale. So actually I have a good base, but I need to boost it up a little bit. So I'm going to end the episode now. It's officially coming to a close, and that's the sound effect of the day. And I just want to say thank you so much for hanging out and being here. I hope that I helped you in some way with what I said earlier about perspective and making the most out of your box and appreciating what you have. It's always a good reminder. I think we can all, that's like one of the things that you have to be conscious of, and you have to like put effort into remembering those things. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the show. Please hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening right now. I'm on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Breaker, Overcast. Wherever you listen to podcasts, please hit that subscribe button and review the show 5 stars while you're there. Head over to patreon.com/TJMS. Patreon.com/TJMS to support the show. It's $5 a month. Check it out. And it's my tip jar. You're not getting exclusive content. You're getting, it's just a tip jar. It's just a tip jar. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Jacqueline Monroe Show. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Jacqueline Monroe. And call a family member that you haven't talked to in a while. I'm just going to do the feel good shit here at the end. Call your grandmother, call a friend you haven't talked to in a while. Tell yourself you love yourself, because dude, every now and then, I might just play it now. This is how we're going to end the episode, because fucking Duncan Trussell is like, the day I recorded my first podcast, I was watching him and Joe Rogan talk for 5 hours on the last episode before Joe moved to Austin, and he was interviewing Duncan. And like every now and then I come across this and I fucking love, this is how I'm going to end the show, because this is it. And this is kind of related to what I was saying about like make the most of your box. Here you go.
Here's one idea. You don't need to evolve. Actually, the evolution is just realizing where you're at right now is perfect. That's the evolution. It's letting go of the fantasy of some future better version of you and loving yourself right now. Instead of crucifying yourself on what you should be or could be, this is perfect. Not just like the nice parts of you, the whole spectrum is great.
Amen to that. I mean, yes, and I have a thought to add to this, but like then I won't end the episode. So how do we go from here? I love that. Everything is perfect right now. Stop crucifying yourself. You're a human being. You're trying your best. But it's always good. I do think having personal standards and goals for yourself and personal values that you live by is important. And even though you're not perfect right now in your mind, because like that's what the mind does. It's like, you could work on this, or you can improve here, or you could do better at your career, you could try harder here, you could be skinnier, you could be buff or whatever. Like, just recognize that like it's perfect now. You can also have those next goals and things for yourself, but the only way you're going to get them is by accepting that at every stage in your life you're perfect. So that's it. Love you. Thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you next week.
I'll do what it takes. I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit. I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I'll fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me.